Hey everybody, how you doing? I thought I'd come on here and talk to you a little bit since I haven't been here in a little while. Been a little bit busy with the house and stuff, but getting there. Um, there's something going on in the neighborhood. I hear people yelling every so often, and I hear dogs barking every so often. So, if my dogs respond to that, I'm sorry. Which they may. I accidentally took a picture of myself instead of putting it on video and recording myself, and thank God because the dogs did bark then. So anyway, here's what's been going on with life. Let's see. I had new gutters put on the house. I had new hot water heater and dishwasher installed. I met with the guy to do measurements and give me a quote for flooring for the house. And I met with the excavator today to talk about grading because I probably didn't mention this before, but the one side of the house, get my hands level here. Well, that's not level. There we go. Okay. On this side, it goes up. Like the house is here, and then it goes up like that. Well, they didn't grade it away from the house, so the water, when it rains, just comes in and sits in that corner, and it's causing a problem, and that's why they've had an issue with that end of the house. And that, along with the gutters going the whole length of the house, they're supposed to be downspouts every so often. So new gutters will help, and the grading will help with that. So, in the driveways, nearly not a driveway anymore. You practically have to mow it. So I'm going to get that fixed too, then have a little turnaround put in, because you'd have to back all the way out the driveway, and there's the hill on the road, then, you'd back out onto a hill, and a little bit dangerous. So, yeah. So I'm getting that taken care of. And once the flooring and the grading is done, I think I can do other stuff after I move in. I think I can start, getting in there then, which is kind of exciting. Anyway, let's see, what else can I tell you? There's a moth or something in here. Oh, well. I'll have to get it later. Work has been going okay. I was helping someone transfer a lady onto the toilet the other day, and went to take her soiled clothes to the laundry room, and tripped over the wheelchair footrest and landed on my knee, so I had to have that go have that checked out. I wasn't going to, but the boss said, yeah, go ahead, because if something happens down the road, then, it's covered. So I had to deal with all of that. I was having a very frustrating day when I went to get that checked out. I was rushing around, meeting the flooring guy at the house. I drove 70 miles that day. I went from where I live now to my new house and met the flooring guy. And after he got done, my sister just lives like 5 miles, well, actually 3 3/4 miles from the new house. So I went over and we had lunch together. Then I had to drive down to the work health center to have my knee checked. So I drove down there. I got there like 2 or 2:30. There was one other patient there the whole time I was there, but I was there until 4:45. They closed at 4. All the office people were standing around with their purses on their shoulders waiting on this doctor to finish with me. And then she said she wanted me to have an x-ray, but their x-ray department in that building was already closed. So I had to go to the main hospital, which was back in town. So I drove over there and registered and went to x-ray. And I got there, and the doctor didn't write which leg. It didn't matter what any of my other papers said. The order did not say which leg. And so the x-ray technician would not x-ray my leg. And she told me I needed to either go back to the work health center the next day or come back to them the next day, and they would get a corrected order. Well, The next day I had to meet somebody else at the house for something, so I couldn't do it in the morning, and then I had to go to work at 2. And she said, oh, it's x-ray at the hospital. We're here all night. You can come when you get off work. So I was going to do that. But I was so frustrated because that day I had planned on meeting the guy for the flooring. I needed to grocery shop. I hadn't done that in forever. I needed to pick up a couple of things at Walmart. So, and my plan was, when I went down to the work health center, it's just maybe a couple more miles down the road to go to the super Walmart. The Walmart in town is only a small one, just one of the old style Walmarts without the grocery store attached. So, anyway, I was going to go down to the super Walmart. Didn't happen because I went to the hospital. Got done at the hospital. I went to Meijer and grabbed just a few things because I was like, I'm not dealing with this store. My knee hurts so bad now. The night before, I got 3 hours sleep because my dog was having a panic attack because we had storms. I'd get her calmed down enough to go lay down in the bed and fall asleep for a half hour or 45 minutes, and then we'd have another storm. So she was going ballistic. So it was a really rough night. I was really cranky and tired. I just wanted to go home. So yeah, that was a rough day. But then I finally did go back the next day and get my leg x-rayed. They had the corrected orders. Well, after work. So it was oh yeah, that was yesterday. So I get home at 11:30, right? And go to put a few things in the freezer that I bought at the store. No, that was the day before. I don't know. Whatever day was the long day, I got the stuff at the store. I came home to put it in the freezer and opened the freezer, and it smelled horrid. Rotting meat. Yeah, well, apparently the freezer's not working now. Or it decides to work sometimes and not other times. But anything my roommate had in there was bad. So, I had to call her. My roommate's in the nursing home because she has shoulder surgery and she's doing rehab. So I had to call her sister and tell her. So while I was at work the next day, she came over and said, oh, I think it was just because of the power outage that we had during the storm, that you just have to unplug it for a few minutes and then plug it back in, kind of to reset it. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I've always heard about refrigerators, but okay. I put a bottle of water in it last night, and this morning it was, refrigerated cold, but not frozen. So, yeah, I don't think that's the issue. Anyway, I'm all over the place. I don't even know what I was going to say next. So it's been a little bit of a crazy week. Oh, when I got home last night, that's what it was. I got home last night after going to work and then after going to the hospital. Came home, opened the back door, let the dogs out like I do every night when I get home. And then came in the house and, changed clothes and all of that stuff. And turned the computer on and sat down, got on Facebook, and thought, well, it's kind of weird that the dogs aren't wanting to come back in already. They usually are pretty, eager to spend time with me when I've been gone. And so I opened the back door and I called for them and they didn't come. And I thought, that's really weird. So I turned the back porch light on. I start looking. There are no dogs in my yard. And so I go over here next to the house and the gate is wide open. My dogs are running the neighborhood. It's the frickin' middle of the night. So I yelled for Daisy and she came back. So then I closed the gate, got her in. She always comes back, no problem. Sebastian is always a problem. So I hear this dog barking down the street, a ways down the street. So I jump in the car, and he usually likes to go for a ride, so I can catch him a lot of times that way. Or he'll follow the car back home and come in the door. So I go down there. No, he is not coming home. There is some kind of an animal under this truck parked in front of this house a block away. And he is circling that vehicle, trying to get under it to get to this creature. And I'm going, come here, dog, So I go one way and he goes the other, and we're back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I knew eventually he'd get worn out and come back. Or I'd be able to catch him, which 45 minutes later I did. grabbed him, threw him in the car, and said, "Your ass is grass, buddy." Anyway, got him home. He drank about a gallon of water, climbed up in my bed, and zonked out. And when I got up at 8:30 this morning, he didn't even move. He just kind of like raised an eyebrow and looked at me, and I was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And then I left the house about 10, and he was still like that. So anyway, I thought somebody had come and unlocked and opened my gate. Not unlocked, but opened my gate and left it open. I found out today from my roommate, I went to visit her. Her sister came over yesterday and her brother to check the freezer, and the dogs got out. Because I tell people, don't go out if you leave the door open. Duh. So they got out. So they thought that they would just come home if they opened the gate and left it open. And then they were going to close it later, but apparently they forgot. Why are you whining? Anyway, so, yeah, that's been my week. But today I went to the house, met with the excavator, and then I went and the flooring guy wants all the baseboards taken up for when they put the flooring down. And so I was going through, I got the kitchen, the dining room, the laundry room, the master bathroom, and master bedroom, and master closet, and the living room done. So that leaves the family room, 2 bedrooms, and a bath to do. So, yay. I mean, they would do it, but it costs more, and I'm all about saving money. So, anyway, I guess that's about it. I hope you're all doing well, and I'll try to check in again soon. See ya. Bye.